Welcome to Fires YouTube. Today we're going to be firing up for the first time at Monsterpalooza. Not already following me on Instagram or X at the Caliban, please subscribe, hit the like button, fire it up. I'm the main host, Mondo. Let's do this. We're over here in Pasadena for 2025 Monsterpalooza. Today is opening day. I don't even know what to expect. I've done Midsummer Scream for many years. A lot of people always recommend this event. I've just never had a chance to do it. But today is the day. We're gonna explore the floor. At some point in time, I think it's at 10 p.m. There's actually a panel revolving around Terrifier. I'm not too sure of the details of it, but we're gonna do that too, because we love some Terrifier. Especially with the whole concept that like, it could be coming to Halloween Horror Nights, you know what I mean? But I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna have a lot of fun and see a lot of spooky stuff. Let's do this. What the heck? Oh my gosh. This is crazy, dude. Look at the size of this. What? I can't even get it in frame. Look at this. Wow. This is from Russell FX. Scream right here. This is so cool.
I think I know who that is. The guy's Dan?
Boris Karloff version.
Yeah. So Dan posted a photo.
That is a lot of Chuckies. This is from Horror Nights? I feel like it's from Horror Nights. Are you coming to Horror Nights, sir? Are you coming to Horror Nights, sir? This one's 4, Nightmare on Elm Street 4. This is so sad. I just feel like I could just chill in here all day. Just stare at this stuff. Whoa. Getting Fright Fest vibes right here. That's cool. Jeepers Creepers. Wow. Check this out. Five Nights at Freddy. Gotta go on the wide angle. So seeing these characters in person now, they are tall. Like, that is taller than me. So this is gonna be very intimidating. Well, if it does come to Horror Nights, these are some very big creatures. So cool. Wow. That is sick. I am just in awe of all this beautiful stuff. Wow. Wow. Creature from the Black Lagoon. What? He has like 3 faces. Sculptures from Tony Candelaria. Very beautiful stuff. Walter's Works. What is this? Looks so peaceful. Wow, that is crazy. This is an art piece by Sapien Nymph. This is Joe Riley. Got some cool masks. Anytime I see Frankenstein, I'm just like gravitated to it. Wow. It says this one's from the Boo Crew. Dude, the details on these are insane. Literally from toe to head, just details. Awesome. The Phantom of the Opera. Dude, this is so cool. 1925. The crazy part about all these things is how tall they are. Like, this dude's so much taller than me. It's crazy. Shout out to J&M Designs. Look at this. It's like a leopard. Leopard fur. Wow. Wow. This is crazy. Oh my gosh. I mean, one of the main reasons I'm here today, 10 p.m., the big panel. for Terrifier. I was just talking to my buddy Brian. He was saying that the line got cut off at 7:15 and for like signings and stuff like that. Literally, the hype's insane. I don't know if I could get near that area. Maybe we could get a visual on them. But aren't the clowns here? Wow, this is crazy. So much history we're looking at right here. Wow, that's cool. This is so cool. I want to put this in my house. That's like my first thought. This is awesome. Just got out of the museum. I guess this way is all signings. And then in here is where you could buy stuff. Probably other cool displays. Let's check it out. This is so cool. Oh my gosh. That's Damien. What? Wow. And then right next to him. Holy smokes. This is Art the Clown. So crazy. Wow. Just being in their presence, I am so happy. The Terrifier franchise, just recently they had Scream Boat. Awesome. I love all their work they do, the art that they provide. Beautiful. Five Fires, man. So cool to be here. Alright, just got in the exhibit where all these stands are. Let's just roll around, see what we see. Wow, this is so cool. Holy smokes. This is from Adam Marcus. Wow. Check out these eggs. Haunted Mansion egg. That's so cool. This is from Yorkmouse. There's so many. Whoa, what the heck? This is, it says Lucid Studios. Wow. That is so cool. I'm a big fan of Scream Boat, so to see this in person is crazy. Wow. As I was admiring the Scream Boat that they got out here, the guy next to him was like, I directed that. I was like, what? So I just wanted to say like thank you, and the art direction that they took with that movie, it was awesome. Scream Boat was, to me, like, it was great. I can't wait to watch it again at some point in time. It's definitely one of those that like I don't mind firing up during like Halloween season. But that's so cool that I got a chance to talk to him, shook his hand. Very cool person, man. Five Fires to Scream Boat crew out here. No freaking way. I just saw you last year, sir. It's so cool to be like this close to it. Wow. Dead exposure right here. And I'm not sure if that's dead exposure or not too. Look at this, dude. Wow. Damn. This is so crazy to be this close to all these masks. You know, most of the time you see any of these characters, it's like for a quick second and keep moving, you know what I mean? The scare happens. But to appreciate the details, wow. And this one's from Horror Nights too. Sheesh. I saw a dinosaur, so I had to come over here. That is sick. Wow. So we saw McGee Effects. Now we're here for Immortal Mask. They are the ones who are part of the scare zone at Halloween Horror Nights. I'm just gonna skim through. They have so many, so I'm just gonna be as fast as I can. Maybe some of these make their way out to Halloween Horror Nights, you know what I mean? It is so crazy to see the luchadores. So many awesome memories from all these actors in the luchadores scare zone. Wow, it's just cool to see and appreciate the detail, because these dudes are running around so high energy. You know, you couldn't really appreciate anything. It was just a blur. You know what I mean? Wow. This is sick. Who remembers this dude right here? Sick. That's from the opening ceremony area. I feel like one of these masks or multiple masks throughout this whole display that they got, some of this is going to be Horror Nights. I could just feel it. Check this out. That is crazy. You know, when I see this in person, it is pretty damn scary. Like, Art the Clown, this is going to be terrifying. If it really does come to Halloween Horror Nights, I am scared. Oh man, it's almost time.
But you guys can follow us.
Damien Leone, David Howard Thornton,
on Instagram if you want.
Trevor Chan.
Director Damien Leone and Art the Clown's of David Howard Thornton. There you are. It's come alive. Awesome, you guys. Thank you again for doing this for us. I've had the pleasure of talking to you guys a bunch about this. Consider myself a Terrifier expert at this point, I think. So before we get into all this chaos, I would really like to ask you both something that really zooms all the way out here. At what moment, whether it was on set or in the editing bay or alone in your head, did you realize that Terrifier wasn't just a film anymore, but it was a legacy that will live on in the world forever?
Wow, legacy. I don't know. The moment where I realized this was bigger than I thought it was when we tried to raise 50 grand for the Clown Cafe scene through Indiegogo for Terrifier 2. And we set the goal at 50 grand, and I didn't think we were even gonna hit that. And then in less than 24 hours, the fans came through and we raised like 225,000. And that was just a big, really. That was all, my favorite word is just to say organic, because we never have any marketing budget to really promote these movies. It's all word of mouth by the fans. And it's truly the greatest pleasure I think we get is meeting you guys, seriously. And especially when we hear how much these movies mean to you on really deep personal levels, and to hear these stories of how these movies actually help people, it moves us in ways that we never imagined, and we can't express how really wonderful it is and how we really cherish that and how honest and vulnerable you guys get with us. And it really means the world, and it makes us want to make just better movies with you guys. So thank you.
And we've been a lot more talkative, I guess. Yeah, because I've always been a very shy, quiet guy, and I'm people I didn't know, so just being around the fans is really helped open me up a lot more. I guess I'm a lot more comfortable in my skin now thanks to you guys, so thank you for that. It's been art therapy.
He's comfortable wearing other people's skin too. Have you seen Terrifier 1?
Yeah, that was an interesting moment. Oh boy, that was something. Actually, that's true though. That's true because I was always very self-conscious about my body and stuff like that because I was always very, very skinny growing up. I always got made fun of, and then he wants me to be naked, and I'm like, great, my first film, and they see my tush. Awesome. I'm sorry, everybody.
It was really cool. It did open doors. I did get to go to Hollywood pretty much and just go to all the studios and take meetings with executives and presidents of, I won't name, but I mean really I got to go to pretty much all of them. And a lot of them were interested in Terrifier and like more as a curiosity, like what is this? It's like why is this so successful? And like if there was any kind of code we cracked, and they wanted to know if they could be a part of it. And there were times where I was very close to signing a deal for Terrifier 3 with a studio, but I would hear these little notes that kind of, you know, freak me out a little bit, for lack of a better word. Just like, we don't really want to call it Terrifier 3 because not enough people know about it, so why don't we just rebrand it and call it Terrifier again? And of course, you know it has to be rated R. You can't go unrated, so these big kill scenes, you're going to have to pull back a little bit. And then I said, look, we got to this point, you know, the first movie cost, at the end of the day, about 50 grand. The second movie cost about a little over 300,000, I think. So I was like, there's no reason to turn this into a $10 million, $20 million Hollywood movie. I might as well just keep doing it the way it's been made and just the way you guys have just appreciated it at this point. So it was actually pretty simple. Pretty simple decision at the end of the day to just keep making it the way we were making Fire. It was pretty much instantly supernatural. He was sort of teleporting around and didn't obey any, you know, the rules. But once I decided to bring Art back from the dead at the end of Terrifier, and I said, all right, now he's supernatural, because ultimately almost all your classic villains, your slashers, become supernatural at some point. But the filmmakers sort of gloss over that element, and they don't really dive into it and explore it. It just sort of becomes the traditional trope of what the boogeyman is or does. Like, they just become supernatural. You're not really supposed to ask too many questions or dive into, well, what is that evil entity that's either resurrecting them or driving them? So I really wanted to dive into that element more than anything and make the evil character in and of itself. So that became exciting, and I knew that, you know, at some point you really have to give this character a backstory. I'm sure you've all heard now that I'm going to reveal his backstory now in part 4. We're going to get that. Yeah, I know a lot of people, some people are nervous, right? Because that could destroy the character if you do that, if you don't do that the right way. And I love the ambiguity of Art the Clown. I think that is so important to why he works. So I just want you to know that I believe that there is a way to sort of have your cake and eat it too when it comes to delivering his backstory that's not going to fuck up the other movies, all right? So just rest easy in that regard. I don't want to say whether or not there's a conclusion for Art, but there is once I wrote Terrifier 2, I knew a conclusion, a definitive conclusion to this franchise, let's put it that way. Yeah, I know, like, I knew exactly, like, to the shot, pretty much how this was going to end.
Well, and it will be part 4.
Yeah, part 4.
All right, well, David, with your portrayal of Art, without spoiling anything that you may know or may not know, how have you evolved the way you perform him as the character's own lore and mythos has expanded, especially going into 3?
Well, I kind of look at it constantly evolving himself. Because, you know, starting with part 1, he was human, and he's resurrected at the end of that. So he's like, oh, he's a lot more confident and cocky. So he's like, yeah, I came back from the dead. Take that, Jesus. You know? He actually came back twice, so there you go. But so I was like, okay, going into part 2, he's going to be a lot more cocky and arrogant. He's going to be a lot more reckless with the way he's doing, because he doesn't think he can be defeated. Then he comes up against this adversary that also can hurt him. And so that kind of sets him back on his heels a little bit, you know, chops off his head, spoiler. So I was like, okay, so part 3, when he comes back, okay, so he's got a vendetta now. And he actually knows that there's something out there that can hurt him too. So he's got a lot of unbridled rage built up, and he's also still wanting to have fun too. It's Christmas. You gotta have fun. So it's like, okay, well, how can we balance that? Having so much jolly fun with what he's doing, and then he gets down to business with Sienna. And with that one, he really had someone really guide. I mean, we had a little bit in part 2 with the Pale Girl, but in part 3, we had Vicky there after Pale Girl had taken over as a guiding force for him to, like, okay, yeah, you're having some fun, but now you got a mission, dude. You got to get rid of this girl and all these other people around her because they're a threat to us. But like, once we get that all settled, then we can have more fun. So I was like, okay, so he's a man with a mission now. But then I loved how ends with part 3. That's like when he gave me the script for part 3. The one part I was like, whatever you do, do not change this ending, because I loved how it ended with both Leanna and Art losing their powers and getting back to square one. And so that's really set Art back in the whole way. So I'm excited to see where we can take Art going forward in part 4. Because now it's like, oh god, I don't have my powers now, but also he's got a real purpose now because he wants that back. And he also wants to get her finally. So I'm very excited to see where we can go forward with this.
Have you read what Damien's written for part 4?
No, and I love how he just kind of laughed there because he knows stuff that I don't know and it pisses me off.
Yeah, I think it's
I
exactly
might be way off on things, but I have no idea. I have no idea.
The whole time he was speaking, it was just fart noises and like,
Yeah. Like, wonk, 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 wonk.
he didn't mean to interrupt. What's up, buddy? Dan, how's it going, man? Very nice to meet you. Here we go.
Give it a second, it'll pop up.
Very nice to meet you and my brothers of monsters. Hey everybody, God bless. I'm sorry I'm late.
Between your physicality and the practical effects, and a real relationship that you kind of cultivated with Damien here on that. Did working with a new team change your experience or change how you synchronize your performance with the gore in any way?
Not too much, because Damien was still there a lot. You know, he was, when we did the first two films, he was doing my makeup, so we had a lot of conversation time in the chair together to go over the day and whatever we were planning on doing. And so, but I still have a lot of those moments still with him and stuff like that. So it didn't really change too much. I think it kind of freed him up in a lot of ways, just to really focus on actually filming, so he wasn't having to stress out over making as much as he had in the past. He still can't help it though. He's still got to come over and say, no.
Of course.
Just let me
Gotta have some fingerprints in there.
Yeah.
I got the fake blood and everything.
Yeah.
But I was thinking part 3 was probably the most pleasant for you because of the regulations, and we didn't make him film for 20 hours.
Yeah.
He could, 12 hours, and that's it. He's gone, or he's getting overtime now. It's a different ballgame.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Because it would have been a nightmare if you were just doing the makeup yourself, because it wasn't just my makeup they were doing. They had to do so much more on Samantha that played Vicky in this than I had. I mean, mine was taking maybe about an hour and a half to put on. Hers took about 8 hours to put on every single day. So that would have been a nightmare logistically for him to have to do. It was just like, no. So I was very grateful we actually had a competent makeup team from Tinsley helping out with us. It really helped ease a lot of the stress and helped things flow a lot better.
Do not speak.
yes. So, I mean, the opening scene of the Terrifier
To look forward to as we get to the fall, as we get to spooky season this year with Art and the Terrifier franchise.
Oh my God, so many things that I am not at liberty to discuss.
Fair enough.
My God, is there anything I can say?
Just say it. Just say it.
Toys that are coming out that we haven't even announced. There's video game things that we haven't even announced. There's something really cool that we haven't announced. But there's so much stuff. Like, I can't even keep up with half the things that are coming. So you're gonna be swimming in Terrifier worlds for the next few months.
Oh yeah, yes.
By the way, I'm going to beat you to all those dolls. I'll be buying them for my own collection. I just want to...
Also, one tip that I would give people, it is extremely hard to do the parking for this Pasadena convention. I recommend whatever this is across the street over here. I think the most they could charge is $12. but I recommend this. It's on Green Street, right across. So it's just like a 2-minute walk to the convention. I recommend there. What a way to end my first Monsterpalooza, to see the Terrifier movie with the Terrifier cast, seeing their reactions. Awesome. Monsterpalooza, I can't recommend it enough. This was a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure there's tickets for Saturday and Sunday. It goes all the way to Sunday. But for me, I had a blast. 5 fires to this event. Thank you for all the people working out here, making everything so smooth. Really well run event. I loved everything about it. Thank you guys for watching. Smash the like button. Firing it back.